For the last 40 years, we've been sold a lie about how to solve climate change. It's the kind of deception that sounds so right, so convincing, that we don't even ask questions. We've been told, and far too many of us believe, that the weather is just too warm. That's all a facade. The actual problem is not global temperature, but rather the consumption of non-renewable energy. His Highness Sheikh Zayed once said, future generations will be living in a world that is very different from that to which we are accustomed. It is essential that we prepare ourselves and our children for that new world. That's where we step in. We, the Sus Energy, a sustainable organization, make it our mission to make a sustainable city using renewable energy, enhancing the waste management cycle, applying a friendly transport system, and creating an easier and healthier environment.
Our world is complex with global and local interconnections of systems, services and societies. Global warming is on the rise and the world is burning up. The Sus Energy team has identified three major problems contributing to climate change: electricity, waste and transportation. Firstly, electricity production and distribution from a central power plant uses up tons of fossil fuel. Secondly, waste management and treatment at landfills produces tons of greenhouse emissions into the atmosphere. Thirdly, our reliance on transportation and crude fuel consumption has detrimental impact on all life on Earth. The current state of the world's energy and transportation supply is still bound in the industrial era. It is one of the biggest environmental and human hazards of the last century. They must be redesigned to meet the United Nations target of reducing the planet's temperature to 1.5 degrees by 2050.
This is Code Green, self-sustaining, energy-generating communities. Rather than relying on huge supplies from all around the world, our strategy focuses on local communities' independencies. Our solution is a model of locally produced, sustainable energy that supports the livelihoods of small communities. Secondly, our solution decentralizes waste elimination and creates locally managed waste plants that converts gases to renewable energy back into the community. Recycled items will be safely treated to be either reused as recycled items or as renewable energy back into the community. Thirdly, pressurized sensors to harness locally produced energy from moving vehicles and road users. These pressurized streets capture the vibrations of moving vehicles and convert that into renewable energy, which is sent back into the batteries to be consumed as electricity within the community. Fourthly, harnessing energy created from citizen participation via play equipment at parks, stored by batteries and redistributed within the community. This is a fun, educational, and co-creative approach to community innovation and participation towards sustainable climate change.
Code Green is centered on SDG 7, but it correlates with all SDGs because by definition they are all interconnected and leaves no one behind. Code Green is creating a model involving more renewable local communities of energy by harnessing the natural energy supply.
The Sus Energy team will implement and test the solution in the city of Dubai. By lowering the carbon footprint of waste and garbage vehicles, we will establish waste drop-off and collection stations across the city. We will install sound collecting equipment that will capture and transfer environmental sounds and noises into energy. By maximizing energy captured from moving vehicles, we will develop and install pressurized sensors on busy and main streets. By creating entertaining and imaginative parks and playgrounds for communities to enjoy, while encouraging them to actively participate in energy creation and increasing their understanding and awareness of climate change. In addition, we will construct and deploy renewable energy storing batteries and generators across the city to provide the residents with long-term energy.
Sus Energy has created a timeline for implementing and deploying Code Green in Dubai by 2030. We predict that if our proposal is selected, we will devote the next 6 months to developing a proof of concept scale model of Dubai that demonstrates how the city would generate, consume and redistribute energy. By December 2022, we would be able to implement the system and run 5 residences and 1 workplace on renewable, self-sustaining energy.
As previously stated, we are implementing our idea in Dubai, which has a population of 3.5 million people, with whom we will gradually associate with. Code Green is still a vision of Sus Energy. We need the right people to assist us in introducing Code Green into the lives of millions of people all around the world to make it a reality. For the planet's and humanity's futures, we need major stakeholders from numerous organizations, enterprises, and governments to invest in the new renewable energy model.
Of course, there are other sustainable organizations such as the IEA and ESCO that shape sustainable energy for a secure and sustainable future. Yet, what makes us distinctly different and unique is that we are not only going to minimize carbon dioxide emissions, but we'll also use smart finance, in which money spent on electricity will be used to develop new infrastructure and given to the poor. We will also have an organization that will allow people to volunteer and get compensated for their efforts, which will reduce the unemployment rates.
The SAS Energy team is diverse, motivated, full of talents, skills, knowledge, and transversal soft and complementary capabilities that are well suited to implementing the solution. The team members are very excited to test their idea. They are very motivated and they express their willingness to put in the time and effort necessary to make the solution a reality.